This brand new survival game looks absolutely crazy. It's got so many different things in it, having a mech suit that you can take on other players in special zones or potentially fight lots of ghosts and spectral enemies. And then you go back to a cozy atmosphere as you build up your base, use automation to gather resources, farm your crops, and then go and meet some villagers, maybe start a romance, get married, have kids. This is AUTONOMICA. I've been showcasing a bit of it in previous videos, but their Kickstarter is pretty much finished and they've raised nearly $1 million to support this brand new open world survival crafting game. So is it really going to be that big? Well, clearly people really think this game is popular already, having backed it on Kickstarter. Making that kind of money makes it one of the biggest supported Kickstarter games going. Kickstarter is where you can crowdfund, basically offer perks and tiers that players normally get a game key for, and then they'll be able to support the game early in its development. They showed off this 7-minute trailer highlighting all the different things you can do. There's going to be sort of different classes or at least workbenches that you can lean into. So if you like the cozy side of things, maybe just gathering resources and building up a nice home with lots of decoration, you can do that and maybe not have to partake in a lot of the other aspects. If you like the idea of automation, which this game has a ton of, everything from setting up proper electricity systems to help your crops grow, as well as waterworks to make sure they're all nourished, as well as infrastructure to transport all of your stuff, whether it is the actual foods that you're growing or maybe resources that you're mining. It's a crazy mix between something like maybe Satisfactory, Stardew Valley, Sims, and a little bit of Fortnite. We'll get onto that last comparison in a minute. It is going to be coming to consoles in the future, but as you might expect, it is going to hit PC first, and it's looking likely to have its release later on this year. It's made by a publishing company called Creativo, who have helped out a bunch of other smaller little indie games over the years, but this is their first big project on their own in a while. Some elements look a little bit too cozy for me. I'm not that fussed about decorating my home to the 9th degree. But then you have stuff like this, having a sand dune buggy to go ahead and ride. There's also bikes, crazy stuff including the mechs as I mentioned, hoverboards and a lot more. The creativity that you can have in this game and the different things and various styles of play on offer really is just out of this world. I love automation. I can never really get into Satisfactory though because it would just take up so much time and I'm maybe not smart enough for it. But I love AUTONOMICA and I've previously dabbled in other games with automation. So this is looking really good to me. This game was previously called Farm Folks and that's the videos that I probably took a look at. So if you're wondering how or why it's changed its name, they decided it just didn't really fit anymore and so now they've got AUTONOMICA as its brand new name. So yeah, some things are a bit too cute. I'm not that fussed about having pretty wings on my actual suit or maybe some glitter trails, and it's questionable how much this cozy art style, more so dedicated towards younger audiences, really needs girls in bikinis or dudes just wearing their shorts. It does look like there's going to be a lot of animals that you would have around your base, obviously for farming, but maybe some pets as well. They've just hit a stretch goal where they're going to be adding a big city to the game, so there'll be a ton of NPCs, and yes, you can go ahead and try romancing them. Again, not really my style. My time at Porsche and them style games, my time at Samrock, that definitely is bringing this to mind a little bit, and like I said, a little bit of Sims action. The art style really might be just too colourful and too cute for many more dedicated survival fans. What I'm looking for is some sort of action and other mechanics to really get my teeth into, so I could probably ignore quite a bit of this unless I really have to progress, because I do think the other aspects still look so good and this is actually nice and pleasant enough even if it isn't my game jam. Now some of this stuff is clearly scripted and maybe not fully representative of what you're going to be doing in the game, but yeah, it's definitely giving the vibe and the feel of what to expect if you want to get your noodle on and try and get yourself a new hubby or wife. Lots of character customization as you might expect, so make sure you're looking good for the magic day. Let's cut all that and let's move on to something a little bit more up my street. I love open world games. I love that sense and freedom of going out in the world, but also bringing resources back and building my farmstead or base. This one is going to be focusing a lot on the cosmetics and that building. And it does seem to have pretty free flowing systems. I also love the idea of farming my crops ever since playing Farmville back in the day. Ask your parents about that one, kids. It's a big appeal to get all your crops and everything looking nice in a certain farm, but there's other things you'll be doing like beekeeping too, making sure all your livestock are in good condition, ready to be made into lamb chops later, or maybe steal their wool. And again, these are the features I like. Ever since becoming a little bit bigger with Ark back in the day, having a bunch of different creatures around your base, utilising them for resources is something that interests me too. You can see here everything from horses to pigs to ducks, and then yeah, a lot of crafting going on. So it does seem, as I said, there's these specific benches that will access a lot of the technology or items that will suit your kind of playstyle. You probably are going to have to partake in mostly all of them to really get any kind of progress, but you can definitely concentrate on one thing or another. And then this is where most cozy games would leave it, but not this one. They're adding PvE, PvP gameplay into this game. There's going to be special zones or time travel where you'll go into certain worlds that'll either be peaceful or some of them will be filled with phantoms. Not only will you have to fight against these to get some of their resources, but you also have to worry about other players being able to kill you. Now this is where the game starts to jar for some people. How can you have a cozy game like this but then also have the feeling that you might lose some of your gear? Honestly, I'm not too sure what the consequences are if you do get taken down by another player, but you can see them getting ready for battle with their mech suits, aping Titanfall, a variety of different weapons and guns and stuff to take on not only, as I said, the phantoms, but other players. So you may even need to coordinate with your team and then still work even with strangers if you want to survive some of these big giant spectral enemies. It does look like it's completely by choice though. You won't have to worry about anyone destroying your base. These will be special zones. So I've literally just done a recent Critical More video on this and a few other Kickstarter games like Everwind and a game called Hawthorne. These three games are definitely going to be on this channel in the future. I'm going to leave the link to that one down below so you can check out what I really think about Kickstarter and whether or not some of these games are going to be successful or not. But clearly, with nearly $1 million raised even before it's released, a publisher that's got experience making this game and apparently been working on it on years, this does have the most potential clearly. And yeah, I'm enjoying some of these mechanics, sorting out the free-flowing build system, even from things like placing lots of the solar panels. It looks pretty unique, it looks pretty easy to use. Base building looks like it's going to be nice and simple with a variety and big massive collection of different ways to build. It's going to have full controller support when it does launch on PC later on this year. And yeah, I love the idea of a kind of more satisfactory style automation game, but with a little bit of danger and maybe other stuff to do rather than just sorting out your factories. And with elements like this, it really stands out as pretty unique. Even something as mundane as sorting out a piping system so that you can make your own ponds. There's going to be light terraformation in the game, as well as being able to make your own pools. It's really looking pretty cool. And yeah, I just love the idea of setting out your pipes, organising it so all your crops get watered. Eventually, once you get enough, I guess, money or some other kind of currency to progress and buy a lot of these unlocks and upgrades. And that's going to be key. Is it going to be a grindy game? Is it going to be the right kind of grind? Is it going to be easy to unlock some of this technology, or are we going to have to really work for it? They're promising all sorts of stuff with robots and a lot more to help with the automation, various different processors and crafting benches, and basically stuff that will gather either, like I said, resources from ores, go ahead and pick up your carrots and your potatoes from your crops, or deliver milk and stuff from your animals. One note of concern, which I mentioned in my other video, is that there may be a lot of cosmetic skins and stuff coming to the game. Not too sure even if it's going to be a full price game, I presume so. But their Kickstarter is already riddled with what I would say is pretty fairly expensive skins. So as long as all of that stuff becomes optional and really is just skins that don't affect gameplay, then it'll be down still to support the game in the future. So there you go, it is now called AUTONOMICA. I will definitely be covering it when it comes up for release. I do believe maybe in September or August they may have some sort of content creator preview. And I'm sure they're going to have alphas and betas for people that kickstarted it. If you want to go and support yourself, well, you really haven't got long. Like I said, I didn't want to be just someone that's selling this game until I actually see some real decent gameplay and try it myself. But you may still have a few hours left to check it out on Kickstarter and show some support if you really like the idea of this. So I'm going to start keeping you guys in the loop as I always do with these types of games. I'll see you rat bags for more soon.